Hello and welcome back, everyone, to the next day of this advent calendar as we continue down this Animal House theme. And what is an Animal House theme without a literal animal house? You know, Soundwave. Specifically, the Legacy United release, which is, in fact, a re-release with a new paint job of the original Earthrise Soundwave toy. Now, this figure was originally done up as a Netflix exclusive in Earthrise, and yeah, it was a Netflix figure. It was a Walmart exclusive, and that made it very, very hard to get, and a lot of people missed out on it. And then to make matters worse, the original release had some really, really bad yellowing on a number of copies of the toy. So a lot of them just kind of got wrecked by that. Anyway, this is a new release of the toy, and even though I already have the really nice Takara version that came out this year, I kind of had to get this one again because, well, it comes with a buzzsaw, and frankly, buzzsaw is reason enough to buy this set. Because we finally got them. We've gotten tapes of everybody, like, at least once, except for buzzsaw. So that was my reason for getting this. And yeah, in order to get him at the leader price point, they actually included him with 3 tapes here. He has buzzsaw, he has Ravage, and he has Rumble. So yeah, he's a veritable Animal House. He's got a house, and he holds animals. And he also makes you want to shout, because he's the music guy. So again, there's another Animal House reference right there. I am not stretching on this at all. Nope. So let's see, Liberty and Soundwave. Let's put them over there. And then let's get these tapes out of the package as well. Again, this Soundwave, it's interesting timing because we just got the Dramatic Capture series release of this mold earlier this year. And I do have that one, and that is going to be the main one I'm comparing with. Yeah. I do have the Netflix one as well, and I have been lucky enough that my Netflix figure has not yellowed. But, yeah, I also have that Netflix figure in storage right now. So, yeah. Opening up that frankly insane amount of paper, we can see all the accessories. We have Rumble's pile drivers right here. This is the same Rumble that came out separately carded as a core class figure. So, yeah. We also have Soundwave's guns right here. We have the Rumble guns right here. And yeah, we also have this accessory that has been there since Siege Soundwave, and that is, well, there for some reason, and I don't think anyone really quite knows yet what exactly it's supposed to be. Yeah. We're going to start with the cassettes, though. So these two figures are very much gang molded. Laserbeak and Ravage have come as a set across multiple releases. These were originally a 2-pack when they first came out, so Hasbro kept with that. And yeah, they were the equivalent of what is now Core Class, like this whole 2-pack set. When they were... No, they were a Micromaster 2-pack. Sorry, they weren't doing cores at that point. They were just doing the Micromaster 2-packs. But yeah, so they're together probably an equivalent to the Rumble price point. And yeah, transforming Buzzsaw here, we can see that, yeah, we finally have the yellow killer of Omega Supreme. He looks really good. The gold is pretty on point. It's a proper Buzzsaw, and it's insane that we had to wait this many years to get Buzzsaw in this toy line. He's got all the necessary detail there. The Decepticon symbol up there, some well-painted beacon eyes. All this nice gold in here. Like, Buzzsaw looks really good, and this figure is literally the exact same thing as when I bought Masterpiece Sound Blaster just to get a Rat Bat. Like, I bought this to get Buzzsaw. Ravage, meanwhile. Ravage is straight up just continuing the whole trend. I believe this is the Siege version of the mold. There is a difference between the two in terms of the actual sculpting. So let's transform him out. And yeah, we've got all that cassette style detail right there. And again, it's not a bad Ravage. Honestly, Ravage is probably the weakest of the cassettes at this point. Like, yeah, there's also a 5mm post here so that you can plug him onto Soundwave, and then Soundwave can use him as a shield, that sort of thing. Although it's really loose on Ravage here. Wow. Really loose on Ravage. But yeah, Ravage is just a case of we're just going to fold the legs out to transform him. He is a little bit stocky as a figure there. Unlike the original, Ravage. He does not have that same lanky silhouette that Ravages tend to have. So we bring all this down, and then we need to get the head up. And yeah, head is going to come up like this. And I believe that this is the Siege version of the figure here. I'm going off the head because the Earthrise version had just straight up the G1 Ravage face. Like, it's got the G1 Ravage toy face, that version. But yeah, then we just bring these back here. Extend these, extend the silhouette a little bit more. And, right, okay, yeah, these come around over here. I was trying to figure out how to get these legs down, but unless they don't go down quite all the way, let's see. It's been a bit since I've transformed this mold. Yeah. I'm just trying to remember how to get these legs down here, because this clearly folds out just to give him a little bit more of a silhouette. Let's see. Yeah, so we bring this out like this. And then the legs should just... Yeah, legs come up like this, but then they don't. They come up like this here. There we go. Yeah, we got it. We got it. All right, so then, yeah, these legs come around like that. That's going to elongate his silhouette a little bit there. And yeah, it's not a bad little Ravage, honestly. Again, it's a little bit bulky in terms of the actual arms. It's just a feature of how this transformation works. But yeah, like legs can move like that. We've got a knee of sorts over here, I guess. Yeah, we got a knee right there. And then this back bit here. There's no tail on Ravage, sadly. No tail on this mold. But yeah, we got we've got that ankle right there. Bit of a backwards knee there, but yeah, he's got all the sculpting. He's got his little guns there. I mean, it's a Ravage. It's a okay little Ravage. He's got yellow eyes. Not the red eyes that he had in the G1 cartoon, but yellow eyes. But yeah, that's Ravage in a nutshell. So let's put him here next to Buzzsaw. And then, of course, we've got Rumble right over here. Rumble is an interesting case of a release here because Rumble was released at retail, but in some areas he was very difficult to find. My Rumble I only managed to get because a friend of mine happened to be in the States and found a whole bunch of Rumbles, but he did not get proper distribution in Canada. So as such, yeah, for a lot of people this is going to be their first Rumble. And yeah, he transforms pretty straightforwardly here. I'm not really bothering to show tape mode. I mean, you already saw that in the box a bit, but yeah. Rumble has no elbows. He has ball jointed shoulders. Shoulders go up and down. He has a ball jointed head here. And then we have universal joint there, out there, and then ball jointed knee. And then of course, yeah, the feet can fold down as well too. And honestly, it is a really nice Rumble. It's a nice upgrade from the Rumble Frenzy that they released in back in like the Siege Earthrise days. We can plug his little guns back on his back there. Yeah, like that. We can also plug his little guns here. He can't actually hold them in his hands, but we can plug them on the sides. And then, of course, we have his little pile drivers. Pile driver transformation is you just bring his arms out like this. Fold those hands back in. And then we just, rotate these around. And we just plug the pile drivers in like that. They just friction in nicely. They just friction in like that. And then you just pose him out in a little pile driving pose. And again, yeah, it's a decent likeness of Rumble, just to bring him close up. They went with the darker blue colors of the toy as opposed to the cartoon, which I think is a nice little touch there in order to differentiate the retail release. Yeah, and I will show that off when I do a comparison here because, yeah, I'm going to be able to do a comparison. Soundwave, meanwhile, Soundwave is a nice new release of the figure here. And, yeah, I'm just looking at this here and seeing what's different. He's got that nice red visor, none of the yellow Siege visor there. And I really, really like the matte look here that is on his faceplate and on his ears right there. It's got a bit of a matte finish, unlike the silver finish you usually get, and that's pretty nice. Tape deck is actually, unlike the Netflix version, the tape deck is color matched to the striping here, in terms of the striping there. That is the one bit I always hated on the Netflix version, so that's good. Still press a button to open it up and close it, and he can fit all of his tapes in there. Well, one at a time, but he can fit tapes in there. They did paint the hinges here as well. I will get into that a bit later. What else we got for posability? Shoulders go out like that. Some good shoulder articulation there. Swivel there. Double joint here. So really good elbow bend. And then we have no wrists. No wrist articulation. Knees are going to come up like this. We can fold this plate up here in order to get a bit more posability. Up like that. Sorry, not knees. Hips. Yep. Swing around like that. We get 90 degrees in the knees, actually. And, we can also get some ankle tilts out of them. A little bit of ankle tiltage. And a little bit of up and down. But, yeah, they got the colors pretty much spot on Soundwave here. It's a good-looking Soundwave. It's a really nice-looking Soundwave here. He also comes with his accessories here. We have his gun right here, which can just plug in over there. And we have his shoulder cannon, which plugs in over here. Shoulder cannon here can go up and down a little bit. And then, of course, we have this weird gun where it's still not quite clear what this is. I usually just put mine with Siege Megatron because, well, it kind of recreates that little thing that goes in the back of his head. Sorry, on the back of his back. But, yeah. Anyway, next up, we're going to do some quick comparisons. So the big question here is, how does the new Hasbro retail Soundwave compare to the Dramatic Capture Soundwave release? And the answer is, well, quite frankly, the Dramatic Capture one is, well, still kind of better. You can see here that while this one does have a lot of, well-done paint apps, colors are all pretty much the same too, actually. The gold paints are the same, the blue is the same. The silvers are a little bit different in terms of the glossiness. But yeah, it's very, very similar in terms of the actual colors. There are a few major differences between these two releases. One of them being, in fact, that we have the little gun bits here. The rockets are painted on that shoulder cannon, and they also made this stripe a little bit wider on the Dramatic Capture one. Obviously, a big difference, as I mentioned here, is these hinges. They are not painted on the Dramatic Capture one here. And, of course, there's also the shoulders. These shoulders here don't have that one little red paint app that this one has that makes them a little bit more toy accurate. And also, another big difference here, too, is that we have unpainted forearms here, whereas on this release, those forearms are entirely painted silver. And it's a really nice look right there. Yeah. Otherwise, those are the major differences, I suppose. They also went with matte colors on this one here, whereas this one went for silver on areas like, the crotch and the face. On this one here, those are a firm matte. Yeah, even the buttons here are a little bit more matte than silver over here. One thing I will, and then of course there's the feet down there too. Yeah, you can see here that the feet are unpainted on this one versus painted on this one. One thing I do think that this figure does edge out the Dramatic Capture series one, interestingly enough, is the stripe. They painted in the stripe on the gun on the new Hasbro figure here, while they did not on the Dramatic Capture figure, even though they painted this gun bit here. This is silver, but this somehow did not get painted, that little stripe there. It's kind of like the one thing that I would say that this one absolutely objectively does better from a paint standpoint. And honestly, though, this is a really good Soundwave. Just from a overall looks, paint, this is probably going to be the Soundwave that you're going to want. It's the Soundwave we've all kind of wanted for a while in terms of just all the paint deco, and it is a very good release. All right, comparing Rumbles now. Yep, this is the retail Rumble from Studio Series 86, and this is the Rumble that comes with Soundwave. The Rumble that comes with Soundwave, as I said, is very much going for your toy deco right here, while this one here is going straight up for animation. Because, yeah, in the cartoon, he was more of a purple than he was a blue. I think it's really nice that they found a way to get the toy colors in. Frenzy doesn't really have any differences between the cartoon and the toy in terms of deco, so it is really nice that you have the two options there for Rumble to display next to Frenzy now. I guess actually technically this one would be Frenzy because, the toy decos were flipped. But, Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice, and yeah, it's really nice of Hasbro to make this guy available again. So, transforming Soundwave now. Let's take his guns out, and then let's start the transformation. So, yeah, we're going to have all this stuff folded over here. And we are going to bring all this around here. I forgot to mention the waist articulation. And we're going to bring these pieces out over here. The color matching here between the plastic and the paint is actually really good. Even just the fact that they went with more of a matte here instead of a glossy, that is actually an improvement over the Dramatic Capture figure, just to go back to that. Because, yeah, you can see here on the Dramatic Capture series release, yeah, these do not match all that well because it is just matte plastic here and silver paint. The color matching on this one here is actually, like, much better on the Hasbro release. So that is another point in the Hasbro one's favor. Interesting for anyone's keeping score. That is a few things that I've preferred on this one here, and a few things I prefer on the other one. So, let's keep transforming. Arms are going to go back. Head is going to go down. Let's see. We've still got vestigial parts from the Siege release on this, like these back bits here that do absolutely nothing on the arm except stay there, because they are just holdover from the Siege forearms. And we're just going to snap all this stuff together at the very back of the figure as we bring these arms in. Let's see, what else? Yeah, legs. Legs are going to open up. Legs open up. These panels come out. Those go in. This all closes up. Again, it's a very good Soundwave toy for your G1 Soundwave. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing a Studio Series one that's a little bit bigger. But in lieu of that, I mean, this is perfectly acceptable until that one day happens. Yeah, legs, we're just going to peg these in up over here. They're not quite closing up right, so I must be doing something wrong. Let's just take a look here. Yeah, because we got the feet down there. And this needs to close up. There we go. It wasn't quite closed. Just need to bring this in, wait until you hear that click and snap. There we go. And yeah, now we just bring these in like this. Snap those in, bring this whole plate down, and peg this down over here. This is just going to peg in there and there. Like that. And then yeah, come back over here. For some reason, these are not quite pegging right together. I don't know why. Must be missing something somewhere. But these are supposed to go together like this here. Yeah, it's just not quite pegging in all the way. Weird. And then, of course, the guns right here are meant to just plug into the back as batteries. Just to homage the batteries on the original toy. And there's really only one way that these can go in. I'm probably going to get this wrong, so bear with me. Let's bear down for midterms. Yeah. Here's the batteries. Let's see, pop that up there. And let's put this in like that. Bring these back together like so. Again, yeah. There we go. And here we have Soundwave from Legacy in his alt mode. And yeah, it's your standard tape deck. And again, I can see the benefits to using this matte paint on these parts here instead of the silver that are used on the Dramatic Capture, because quite frankly, it just helps everything blend a little bit more. Because yeah, these parts here aren't painted. These bits down here aren't painted. These bits aren't painted either. And because of that, these matte colors actually help this become that much more of a cohesive unit in terms of how it all goes together color-wise. It's kind of interesting that he uses matte in all those spots, because that's something you would generally expect to see on a Studio Series 86 toy instead of a, instead of a Legacy. But it works really well here. I mean, yeah, it's pretty nice. It's a solid tape deck. And yeah, and we can just take his tapes. Like, we can take Buzzsaw over here. We can fold Buzzsaw back up into his tape mode. Like so. And then we can just plop him in the tape deck like that. And yeah, with Buzzsaw in there, he looks really good. And it's your proper update of G1 Soundwave as he appears in animation. Very slavish to the animation model. It looks really good. The only real negative is just how we have the little product code right there, but that's where they put it on a few of these releases, so you're not really going to be able to get away with not having that in there. It's full on engraved in there, so you're not going to be able to just like remove that super easily anyway. But anyway, yeah, that is Legacy United Soundwave. So to give some final thoughts, quite frankly, Legacy United Soundwave is the Soundwave release that a number of us have been waiting for years now. It does everything that it needs to do. It hits the marks. It doesn't have quite as much paint as the Dramatic Capture release, but honestly, it handles itself very well even without that paint, and does have a few paint apps that honestly elevated over that toy as well. I really can't say one is better than the other, but I can say that, look, this one gets you 3 tapes. The other one doesn't. The other one just gets you Laserbeak. So, look, I think this is a good release to pick up if you don't have Soundwave, and even if you have the Netflix Soundwave. Ditch that thing. This thing is way nicer than the Netflix release. Get this one instead. Anyway, with that said, this is Techno signing off. Until the next day.